Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Bundesliga Career Mode. This is episode number 45, and we start today's episode off with a game against Club Brugge here away in Belgium for our first game of the Champions League in Season 3. Now, of course, this is our second season in European football, our second season in the Champions League. Last season, we reached the quarterfinals before PSG knocked us out on away goals. As you can see, our group for this year as well, we got Club Brugge, Lyon, and of course, Real Madrid as well. And as we all know, Real Madrid will be the side who are going to be clear favourites to top the group. But against Club Brugge and Lyon, I definitely feel as though we should be able to overcome those sides, not just at home, but also away from home as well. Last season, our debut year was really encouraging. So as we travelled to Belgium for the first game of the group stage, I was fancying our chances, rested a few players. First chance fell to us. Angel Correa almost scored a wonder goal. What a sensational goal it would have been. One of the best of the series, but sadly at the post. And we had a couple of chances here late on in the first half. Both shots were saved by the goalkeeper, and at the break it was Club Brugge 0, Hamburg 0. So we've been the strongest side in the first half of this one, looked pretty good. And in the second half here, 4 minutes after the restart, well, Cesar Valente came forward for a free kick. Every single time we get a free kick now, he always seems to go either very close, or as you saw a couple episodes ago, also score one as well. So Valente has been practicing them, he's getting way better. He's up to 60, I do believe, for his free kick accuracy, and this one was not too far off target, just over the bar and behind for a goal kick. What a goal that would have been, but it was still goalless. I just love how far Valente's come, because in the first season he couldn't hit a barn door with a banjo, but now he's just fantastic. He goes so close if not scoring, but still it was 0-0. Club Brugge though in the second half did start attacking us and getting a few chances, but Cesar Valente made a couple of fantastic saves here. This one in the 69th minute, very impressive, and it was still 0-0. But 4 minutes afterwards here we had a good chance to take the lead late on in the game as Engels was intercepted down the right hand side by Timo Werner just off the bench, using his fresh legs to run at tired ones, went down the right hand side, drilled in a cross, and in the centre Angel Correa simply couldn't miss. And with quarter of an hour to go, we look as though we're going to steal all 3 points here in Belgium, with the Argentine making it 1-0 to Hamburg. So Werner down the right hand side, he was the one that made the goal really, and I've said this about Timo Werner a few times now, but he was a regular in the first team in the first season, but now he's lost his place primarily due to a lack of development. But he's a very good impact player, comes off the bench, he's rapid, he can run at tired legs, he can cause danger, and that's exactly what he did there. Intercepted Engels, ran down the right hand side, drilled it in, and Angel Correa, what he simply could not miss. So Club Brugge 0, Hamburg 1. A fabulous save from Valente in the final 8 minutes as well, secured the points for us. A brilliant stop by the Brazilian. The game remained 1-0, and it was how the game finished. So final score, Club Brugge 0, Hamburg 1. We get the 3 points. Some big saves by Valente in the second half, and Club Brugge will feel very harshly done by as well, because they had 9 shots in the game and 6 on target, more possession as well, but really it was a case of a little too late for Club Brugge, to be honest. All their chances really came in the second half, and although we secured the win with a late goal through Timo Werner, it was crazy how long it took them to start attacking us in this game. But Valente made some big saves, that's why he was my man of the match, and Werner getting the assist for Correa was great to see as well. And he used to drill crosses into the centre way more last year. If you watch my player series last year, like half of my assists for my pro came through drill crosses. I don't do it as much this year, but clearly they're still effective, so got to keep using that tactic when I really need a goal. But still, following, as you can see, after that win, I came back in for Dennis Diekmeyer. I once again offered him a contract and said, do you want to stay at Hamburg, yes or no? And it's really frustrating because he's 75 overall, and I do want to keep him here. He may not be growing, he won't grow any more ratings, I highly doubt it, but I want to keep him at Hamburg because he's been in the club for so many years. But I'm not giving him important first team player status. He's 10 ratings lower than the new signing Danny Carvajal. He must know he's not going to be a first team player. Why is he so, adamant that he can still be a regular member in the first team? It's not going to happen. He knows he's being replaced, so I guess we'll have to wait and see. I want him to accept squad rotation status, but I think he's just too proud to do that. So he may be leaving the club in January or in the summer. I'm not entirely sure. I'm going to keep offering him contracts. I'll give him some wage increases and better deals, but the one thing I won't offer him is important first team player status, because I'm sorry, Dennis, I'm just not going to lie to you. Simple as that. But still, for the second game of today's episode here, we take on Bayer Leverkusen back at the Volkspark Stadion, back in the Bundesliga. And how about this? After our first shot was saved from Masuaku, Aku. He then gave away a penalty here, and this was a really interesting call from the referee, because to me, after Kiesling took it round him, he went to shoot, and it looked as though he just took an air shot, really, an air swipe if you will, got fresh air and nothing else when trying to strike the ball, and then fell over. So the referee gave a penalty. I wasn't too sure about it. Javier Hernandez stood up to take it, and the Mexican fired it down the middle as Valente went to his left-hand side. So the little P scores against us, makes it Hamburg 0, Bayer Leverkusen 1, and I was pretty frustrated about this decision. I really was, because I did not think it was a penalty. Maybe you guys disagree, but on the replay and on first glance as well, to me it looked as though Masuaku had been done essentially by a good first touch by Kiesling, but then Kiesling just seemed to fall over after failing to make contact with the ball when trying to strike it. So I didn't really think it was a penalty in my opinion, but maybe I'm wrong, not entirely sure, but still, Hernandez converted a penalty, that's the most important thing, and it's Hamburg 0, Bayer Leverkusen 1. In the 34th minute, we tried to get ourselves back on level terms. Angel Correa cutting from the left here with a lovely Berber spin. Great solo run by Correa, fantastic piece of dribbling, and then his shot took a massive deflection off Christoph Kramer and found the back of the net as well. So I've talked about this a few times before now, but for me, luck will always even itself out come the end of the season, and that's why I tend not to get too mad, if you will, and too angry and aggressive when commentating over these moments, because I know that moments like these will eventually fall in our favour, sometimes later on in the season or even later on in the game. So Correa equalises in very fortunate fashion. His shot takes a huge deflection, goes past the goalkeeper and into the back of the net. So 1-1 in this game, and we get a slice of luck there to even out Bayer Leverkusen's slice of luck earlier, and it's Hamburg 1, Bayer Leverkusen 1. So back on level terms. We then almost scored a lovely goal here through Julian Brandt with a bicycle kick, sadly just over the bar behind for a goal kick though. So much shot power on that, how about that though? But the break, as you can see, 6 shots, 3 on target, more possession as well, but it was still level. And then 9 minutes after the restart, how about this? Hilbert and Campbell player 1-2 get themselves into the box, and for the second time in the game, well, my hands are on my head and I am just so frustrated, because once again we've given away a penalty, and again it's the exact same as the one in the first half. This time it's Holtby, not Masuaku, who gets the wrong side of his man, and as you can see, he doesn't make contact with him. There's no trip with the feet. He puts his hands up. He doesn't put him on his back and push him or anything. He's just putting the hands up, and I don't believe that is a penalty either. Hernandez stands up to take it. Same result. Finds the back of the net. Cesar Valente beaten once again. It's Hamburg 1, Bayer Leverkusen 2. The Mexican has doubled his goal tally, doubled Bayer Leverkusen's goal tally, and the former Manchester United striker has put the away side back in front from a penalty once again. And again, I'll ask the question, was this a penalty? Because I really didn't think it was. I think both penalties in this game were very, very soft, and at the very least you would have to say they were debatable. So Hernandez scores his second of the game, and again, I'm frustrated about it. I'm disappointed about the decisions, but I'm not going to be too mad. I'm not going to be too aggressive, because I know that we'll get our slice of luck come the end of the season at some stage. So Hamburg 1, Bayer Leverkusen 2. The away side are back in front. But in the 62nd minute here, just after the hour mark, Maximilian Meyer gets played down the left-hand side, and what a strike this was by our number 14. Got played the ball through, out-muscled the defender, ran through one-on-one. Correa was waiting in the centre for the drag back, but instead I thought, you know what, I'm really frustrated right now. I want to take the shot on myself with Meyer, see if I can squeeze it in the near post. Look at that shot power. No chance for Ron Robert Zila, who I guess maybe could be a little bit disappointed, I suppose. Say no chance. He was, relatively straight at him, but there was a lot of shot power on it. That's the main thing, and it found the back of the net. So Hamburg 2, Bayer Leverkusen 2. We rescue a point with Meyer's goal in the second half there, and as you can see with the stats, I would have been livid had we not got at least a point from this game. 8 shots, 4 on target compared to their 2 and 2. Both of theirs coming through penalties, which of course they converted. And again, I'll ask you guys the question, what did you think about those penalties? Were they penalties? Would you have given them yes or no? Maybe you thought one was a penalty, one wasn't. Let me know in the comment section down below. Was I harshly done by there, or do I need to go to Specsavers? Let me know in the comment section, because again, personally speaking, maybe I'm being a little bit biased. Usually I'm very, very fair when analysing those decisions, and I try and remain as objective as possible, but I know sometimes I can be a little bit biased. So you guys let me know in the comment section down below, were they soft penalties, or did the referee call them spot on at both times? But still following the game, once again we saw Dennis Diekmeyer decline his contract. I don't think he's going to be staying here, because I don't want to give him the important first team role, because that's just lying to him, and he's just going to get really frustrated knowing that he's not going to be a first team player, and I don't want to give him that broken promise really. So I think he probably will leave the clubs. He doesn't want to become a squad rotation player here. It'll be very, very sad. sad, but his time at Hamburg may be coming to an end after all of these years. But still, for the third and final game of today's episode as well, we are still in the Bundesliga as we take on Hoffenheim. And unfortunately for us, despite having the first chance of the game directly from kickoff, Hoffenheim would open the scoring, and it would come through a familiar face. He scored against us last season at the Volkspark Stadion, and he scored against us once again. A Hertha Berlin legend back in FIFA 14, Pierre-Michel Lasogga gets his first of the season, and if he's going to get his goal tally up and underway for the new year, I guess it's kind of nice that it comes against us. You know, Lasogga scoring against me once again. He's a striker who he has the golden touch against me. You know, that's now 2 in 2 games against us here in this series. I may have to bring him back to the Volkspark Stadion after selling him in the first season. I found him a bit lethargic in the first year. That's why I sold him in just the first few episodes, but he seems to finally start banging him in. He seems to be able to start banging him in now, at least on a regular basis against us, if nothing else. So maybe he'll come back to Hamburg. But still, Hoffenheim 1, Hamburg 0 was a score at a break. We were getting a lot of joy though going down the right hand side. So in the second half, that was my game plan really. Keep on going down the right flank and crossing the ball into the centre. That's what I was doing in the first half. We were getting chances, just couldn't take them. But just before the hour mark, we did the same strategy. Went down the right flank, gave it to Leroy Sané. He crossed the ball in, and Yannick Gerhardt, well, that strike was just bizarre, unorthodox, unusual, just a little bit strange really. Sané whipped the ball into the centre with the left foot, and the way he shot the ball, it was almost like he put his studs up and flew in with the weaker right foot. It was just a really bizarre goal, but I think it was a toe poke really, and I think Baumann should have saved it in all honesty. The shot was straight at him. It had some power. I don't know how you've generated power with that kind of shot style, but it had some power, but I think Baumann should have saved it, but he didn't, and it was Hoffenheim 1, Hamburg 1. So Yannick Gerhardt gets us back on level terms. A pretty bizarre goal, but we'll take it. And the final chance fell to the home side here with 5 minutes to go. Lanzini was played forward, but Valente put him off, and he couldn't get his shot on target. So final score, Hoffenheim 1, Hamburg 1. That's now 3 games without a win in the Bundesliga, and only one in our last 4, in all competitions. We're a little bit shaken up right now. Not really looking too calm, not looking too casual. When we started the season off, 3 really impressive wins to start the season, looking quite good, but since then, struggling. Only 1 win in 4 in all competitions. Got to turn our fortunes around. If we want to win the Bundesliga this season, we have to be doing better than this. But that is going to end today's episode of the Bundesliga Career Mode, though, guys. So a big thank you for watching the video. Really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed today's episode, then please do consider leaving a like, because that is much appreciated. It will help the channel grow as well. In the next episode, I'll be using a new microphone because mine has died about 20 times in this commentary, so do be aware there'll be a little bit of a change in the audio quality. But thanks for watching the video regardless. Please leave a like if you enjoyed it. Much love to you all, and I'll see you for the next episode of the Bundesliga Career Mode very soon.